So you want to be a cool kid and learn to manual. Look, you can do it. It's not that hard. It just takes loads of practice. Riders, welcome back to Sam's Bikes, where we only talk e-bikes. And today, we're going to learn to manual. Riders, you guys know I used to race BMX, and when I was 15, I was at the National Australian Championships. And I saw a pro doing this manual. It was no normal manual. He went on for Ks, straight on the back wheel. And it was right then and there, I decided I had to learn to manual. It took me 3 months to master it. Anyone can learn to manual. It's actually more of a balancing skill than a bike riding skill. What you need to do is practice. So let's get into it. So you're gonna need a helmet. You're gonna need some good shoes. If you ride clips, my recommendation would be to put some flat pedals on, because you're just gonna have more confidence when you get into that manual position. You're gonna need a bike. If you're riding a full suspended bike, my tip would be to put a little bit more pressure in the tires, so when you sit into that manual, the tires don't deflate, and also lock out that rear suspension. I'm lucky enough today to be riding the Commensal Max Power, and it's true, a hardtail is easier to manual, but you can do this on any bike. And you're also gonna need 2 bits of wood or 2 stones. We're gonna measure out 1 meter for us to begin with. We're gonna grab our 2 sticks and we're gonna measure out 1 meter apart to start with. So we'll put one here, and it's a bit more than a meter, but that's good to start with. Okay, so the first tip is to really understand and feel your brakes. When, I know there's a lot of people that ride bikes a lot, and there's also beginners on the channel. So when I say tether the brakes, I want you to find that friction point on the brakes. You can feel it. It's kind of like, when you're driving a car with the clutch, you just get that friction point. So I want you to find the friction point on the brakes, because the best and most safest thing when you're doing a manual is to sit with the brakes in the friction point when you're learning, so you don't loop out. And when I say loop out, that's a loop out because the bike comes backwards. So you want to have your finger on the brake at all times. So what we're going to do, we're going to ride along our quiet area, and we're going to stay in the tethered brake position so the bike doesn't slow down or speed up, and we're just going to hold that. We're going to learn that tethering position. So this might seem really simple, but it's super important to really understand and respect your brakes. And it's super handy for when you're riding the bike normally. Basic, I know, but just practice that. Okay, so now we're gonna look at the body position. And look, the easiest way to explain the body position is it's down, it's one movement, down and back, and then the bike has like a balance point. So when you get down and back, you will end up sitting into the manual. And when I say sitting into it, you'll find that balance point. And then you move your legs back and forward. So your pelvis comes back and forward towards the seat to maintain that balance. And it's super important for you to remember to hold your brakes in that tethered position. So you're ready to brake. So if you pull too much on the bike and it loops out, if you get to about here, pull that back brake and the front will come down straight away. So that's your security. Now what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do a slow motion, and I'll just want you to have a look at the body position of the bike. But to give you an idea, a lot of people I see get wrong is they don't come back enough on the bike. They sit up too high. You wanna get your ass and your head down and your arms and your elbows straight. That is the position.
And now for the slow motion. Look how all my body weight is over the back wheel. My arms are straight and my knees are a little bit bent, and I'm pushing my hips in and out to the seat to hold my balance. It really is further back over the back wheel than you really expect. And now for the still photo. Look how all my weight is over that back wheel. It really does surprise me how much you really need to push to get in that manual position.
So now we've had a go at our body position. And look, I find a lot of people get hung up on the body position. This body position will come with practice. The most important thing for us now is to practice and set ourselves a goal. So this is where we have our first 1 meter of distances. And I see a lot of people trying to manual, and they manual in the straight line, and they try and they try and they try and they try, and they burn themselves out because it's quite a lot of energy to kick up into it. And also what I think is it's a little bit spiritual, but really visualize yourself doing it. Visualize yourself in the manual position, sitting into that manual. So you have one shot, you have one distance. And so you ride through it, you do your manual. If you don't get it, you ride back again, think about what you did wrong and do it again. We're gonna think about getting the right body position. We're gonna have our finger on the brake for safety. We're gonna get enough speed. Another massive mistake people make is not going fast enough. You wanna go 20 Ks, 15 to 20 Ks an hour, because extra speed will give you extra stability. So let's get into it. So we get our speed up, we hit our stick, and we go into it. So basically, riders, that's it. It's practice, practice, practice. Set yourself a meter and then try and beat that meter. Once you beat that meter, do 2 meters. Once you beat that, do 3. Little by little, you'll get there, and you'll start to understand that body position. And a pro tip would be to get your friend to record you on the profile so you can see your body position. And if you want, send me that video and I'll review it and give you some feedback. Riders, thanks for watching. It really means a lot. If you haven't, subscribe, like, share my channel, and remember, you can do it. It's just practice. So get into it. And if you have any questions, hit me up. I reply to everyone. And I'll see you next time.